As ever, I forgot to request that you kindly either like and subscribe or give it a thumbs down if you don't like the video. Welcome to the Bike Racing Without Mercy training vlog. I'm cold. Morning, gents.
Morning.
I'm cold and bored. Bored of going around the inner circle in London. Looking forward to getting into the countryside. But I want to practice my cadence at higher watts. You can see it's cold. I can barely talk. And so, on the deck, zone 2, interspersed with 2 blocks of 10 minutes of 25-35. 25 at 140 to 150% of FTP, 35 at 75%. I report back. Well, as you can see, I made a right hash of the introduction to this training, so please go with the data on the screen if you intend to replicate. And if you're only here for the sprint training, well, please fast forward to 3 minutes 53 seconds on this video, where I'm steeling myself for a proper emotional 55 minutes. Cold and bored, I started the training, but also very mindful of the desire to make a good account of myself when I eventually do get to the countryside, let alone the mountains. So in the privacy and a sanctuary of the inner circle at Regent's Park, I resolved to get stuck in and complete a quality outdoor training. Objective: dial in the seated high cadence, plus clock up a goodly chunk of time at aspirational wattage. So after a luxurious 15-minute zone 2, I transitioned straight into block 1, and the split 25 seconds hard, 35 seconds zone 2 affords the ability to dig that bit deeper when you're on the power. And because I've been grinding a little bit during the training on the Sunday, I was targeting 95 to 100 RPM during the 400 watt efforts, and it certainly gets the blood flowing. I love these trainings where you have to keep the power respectable during the recoveries, aiming here for 200 watts or more during the 35-second off periods in order to develop the mental fortitude. But for me, this is a feel-good training, and it's one that doesn't break the TSS bank. The overall quality this day was decent. I stayed in the power range throughout and had more or less the same average power and normalised power for both of the blocks. Mid-280s average, 305 exactly normalised for both. And pleasingly, the cadence was in the 95 to 105 range throughout the 25-second hard effort, save on this final kind of 400 watts, where I was up and out the saddle on that tiny little climb at the inner circle and then transitioned back to seated. For some reason, I find it hard to get the cadence back up when I'm transitioning. Well, I wasn't exactly feeling too chipper this morning, but I knew that if I came out and got the job done, I'd feel all the better for it. And I love that training. I feel completely invigorated as a result. Yes, the inner circle, well, it's a little bit boring to say the least, but in London, it's about the best place possible to enable you to kind of get the power down, focus on the cadence and pedaling technique, and have a good little training in the bank without traffic lights, cars and all that kind of stuff. And I was super pleased with the training, was in the power range, 400 watts or more for the hard efforts, and kept the cadence nice and high on both the recoveries and the 25-second sprints. Winter versus spring, who will win? Please let it be spring, please, please, please. Anyway, amino acids and cold coffee are on the agenda, and a bit of work for Jane. Look, this is the last of my cherry amino work capacity. I've been saving it for a special occasion, but it's about to go off. So I've been working my way through it. Also, I've been, as I say, over the last sort of couple of months or so, reducing the amount of coffee. That would be about 140 milligrams. And so there's about, 30 milligrams in there. So on the agenda this morning is some sprint training from Ed, but ahead of that I'm going to do a quick half an hour on the rollers just to refine the pedaling technique and some of the handling skills. Well, the level of excitement here is high. I've had a very precise 33 minutes here on the rollers. And the reason the excitement is now at a peak is, look at this. Let me just get the angle right here. There we go, 50-50 left-right balance on the Conago. It's been a while since I've seen that, or indeed on a Villia. Normally I'm kind of, well, most recently 48.5, 51.5 outside. So really happy with that. And definitely I reckon learning to ride no-handed has helped reinforce the need for even distribution of power through the crank. Little steps forward of progression. Who doesn't want a little bit of that? Well, welcome to Ed's VO2 Max 30-second sprint training. 4 intervals, 30 seconds each, just shy of 600 watts, i.e. 200% of FTP. The level of concern is high. Just coming to the first sprint now, changing up through the gears. Cool, that felt like an eternity. Oh. Just 3.5 minutes recovery, 3 more intervals to go. I report back. Number 4 incoming. Oh, got the gear a bit heavy there. Bit of a struggle that one, but probably my best one yet. Now, 3.5 minutes recovery, 5 minutes zone 2, and then a second block of 4. I'll report back towards the end. I've just done 5 minutes upper zone 2. So about to commence sprint number 1 of the second block. Let's see how that impacts on the power. Oh, that was hard. I think I stayed in the range for nearly all of it. Lactic acid is exquisite. I'll show you the 4th and final. Just coming up for the 8th and final 30-second VO2 max sprint, I found this a massive challenge. Trying to stay stable once in position. Over. Look at how the heart rate suddenly jumps up. I've not seen that before. Comes down okay though. I report back to see how the quality of each of the 30-second efforts stayed consistent, or did it deteriorate? Let's find out. Well, that was an extremely challenging training, but very enjoyable, very absorbing indeed. And looking at the critical power curve here on Zwift, it's a new 30-second power PB at 650 watts, which is just over 10 watts a kilogram. So super happy with that. Let's have a look at the training peaks data. So a quick look at the training peaks data shows the first of the 30-second efforts at 629 watts. Now I weigh 63 kilograms, that's about 10 watts a kilogram. I'm not sure where the 8.7 is coming from. Sprint number 2, 614, number 3, 597, and then number 4, 640. So 10 watts short, because I think that was my best effort of what Zwift was saying. And then we go to the first from the second block, 586, so in the power range, 4 watts below. Then 595, decent. And then we fall a little bit short here at 579, but we finish with a flourish on 607 watts. So that's all pretty good. And then actually very interesting, if you look at the entire workout here, 55 minutes, normalized power 300 watts is very good for me. I mean, I would do that in some of the hog hill crits where you've got those really nasty, 40, 45 second hard efforts and another 20 seconds and a lot of threshold and zone 3 in between. Not sure if that's right, in all honesty. It didn't feel like 300 watts worth of normalized power effort, because you do get good recoveries in between the sprints. Anyway, on for the post-ride nutrition. This was a fasted ride, as was the rollers, and time to crack on with work. Routine. It can be boring, but hopefully effective. Full gas greens, here we come. Work is beckoning. It's been a while since I've done strength training, couldn't get the top off. Here we go. Now on for the protein and the baked products.